let me start from the beginning, like we say. Um, I'm originally from Russia. I came from Russia 25 years ago, and I've been doing the programming for last 30 years. So I would consider myself pretty stable. Unfortunately, I had to divorce, and I was very fortunate and was very blessed to find uh, my wife. Um, she has 6 children, get baby in this world, and we wanted very, 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 very much. And unfortunately, we also were pressed with a lot of needs for medicine, for the IVF, for the testing, for a lot of different research, a lot of different operations, and so on and so forth. So I found out that there is such an organization as a Hebrew Free Loan, and I've asked first time to get some loan. And because of that, we were able to financially sustain the IVF, and we were able to get the baby. We have a beautiful daughter who is 2.5 years old, and we were able to repay the loan. However, when we repaid the loan, just a few months ago or so, we hit with coronavirus. And I'm observant Jew, so I went to the synagogue on every day. And one day I socialized with a few folks who came from New York. And as you know, New York is a disaster. Unfortunately, I didn't know those kids were looking totally fine. They were totally fine. They had no fever. They had no signs of anything. However, I contracted the coronavirus, and after a few days, I woke up at nighttime with a high fever. I checked my fever, my temperature, and I had 102 or so. And that continued over 2 weeks. So 2 weeks of disaster where I didn't know whether I will survive or not. Practically, I was sleeping all the time. I'm a programmer, as I mentioned before. So when I was doing the programming, I've done a lot of consulting work for various companies. Well, if you're doing the consulting work, you are not a full-timer where you have the vacation time, you have sick time. You only sustain yourself when you're working. And during those few weeks, I wasn't able to work. Not only during those few weeks, but after that, when I finally was able to get over the coronavirus, I tested positive with coronavirus. We had to go to Hayward and to the fire department, and fire department was testing us. And then a week later, they told us that for sure we had coronavirus. For a few more weeks, I wasn't able to even think straight. I wasn't able to lift my arms. I wasn't able to type on the keyboard. And I'm very fortunate that I have a customer who was okay for me to take a long break because of the coronavirus. However, because I'm a consultant, I wasn't able to provide for my family. And we have 6 kids living with us and 2 kids that are not living with us, who are living in different cities. So because of that, we got better physically, but financially, unfortunately, it was a drop for us. We had to pay rent, we had to pay for our landlord, then we had to pay some other bills. And during that time, I've seen an email from Hebrew Free Loan, please, if you're affected by COVID-19, connect to us. And I connected to Hebrew Free Loan, and in very, very speedily manner, I was able to recover even from the financial loss. So I'm grateful few times for Hebrew Free Loan to, first of all, to give us the opportunity to get a very beautiful baby girl. And second time to once again be on a financially on the ground level, on a very good level, to sustain ourselves and not to be worried about the financial needs for this time being. So thank you guys from Hebrew Free Loan. It's my soul, and my everything is for you. Whatever I can do, I'd love to do. Thank you, Cindy.